The text that brings us together for this Sunday prayer is Psalm chapter 110. Let us recall that today, the Catholic Church celebrates the Blessed Sacrament of the Body and Blood of Christ. Before sharing the message of Psalm chapter 110, let us first familiarize ourselves with the context of its composition. In ancient times, thrones were placed very high. Therefore, a stool or steps were needed to access them. This is what we can read in 2 Chronicles chapter 9, 17-18. It happened that during wars, victorious kings would place their foot on the necks of the vanquished, as a sign of footstool and submission. See Joshua chapter 10, 24. Let us now come to the message of Psalm chapter 110. The message contained in this psalm is more than prophetic, and we can only read it by relating it to Christ. The psalm describes in type the victory of Jesus Christ, the Son of God who became man so that we might share his eternal glory. The New Testament writers make it clear that the ideal of the gospel is fully realized in Christ himself. Christ demonstrates this by asking the Pharisees the following question: "Tell me about the Messiah. Whose son do you think he is?" They answered, "David's." Jesus said to them, "But why does David, guided by the Spirit, call him Lord and say, 'Sit at my right hand and see how I will make your enemies your footstool'?" See Matthew chapter 22, 41-46. In a word, the psalm announced in type a king who will have the function of priest and king. As this psalm is from the collection of David, we can then say that David had the grace to receive this prophetic revelation concerning the Messiah to come. A Messiah portrayed as a new Melchizedek, the mysterious king-priest to whom Abraham gave the tithe of what he possessed. Read Genesis chapter 14, 17-20. This psalm is much quoted in the New Testament, and the reader can experience it. The structure of the psalm is as follows. Verses 1-4. The Lord of Lords, his army and his priesthood. The psalmist is in a moment of contemplation. As on the day of the ascension of the risen Christ on the Mount of Olives, where the disciples contemplate Jesus ascending to heaven. He sees him above at the right hand of God to tell him what God has prepared for him, the rod of power and domination over his enemies, and a people for his own possession.